Awesome. That's so great. Okay. Well, thank you for all of these amazing classes. That was a great introduction. My name is Jess, and in the time of educating via Zoom, teachers and students need tons of tools in our toolkits to reset, reframe, and have a growth mindset. Because if we don't, we're all gonna get like super drained out and pretty overwhelmed. I've been teaching and practicing for over 30 years, and I really believe that the practice allows us to be resilient and to thrive. Yoga is scientifically proven to purify and cleanse the body of toxins, offer one better sleep, stabilize stress, and create ease and release muscle tension, and most importantly to me and to all of us as teachers, to calm our mind into a positive state of being. When we calm the fluctuations of our mind, we get out of our fight or flight mode, which is in our amygdala, and we stimulate the prefrontal cortex, which is our creativity center, and it's where higher brain functioning occurs. Our students and all of you as teachers live in that space of the brain. We're change agents, we're polymaths, and since our mind is our biggest asset, we need to do yoga, which helps to unify the hemispheres of the brain and keep us in a positive frame of mind to be our best selves. More creative, more proactive, and most importantly, respond wisely to challenging feelings that we might get during crits or frustration with work, or challenging and uncertain times like what we're living in right now. In the time that I have to present, I would like to teach simple mindfulness tools. We're gonna do a breathing, we're gonna do chair movement, and we're gonna do some standing movements for all bodies and experiences to try. And remember that these movements can be done anywhere, and also you can do this as like a sequence, because I know you'll have the videos, or as a standalone postures when you're teaching your classes. And if you don't feel like doing anything today, I completely understand, and just join in and watch. And we're just gonna learn some basics together on how to empower our mind and our body to stay settled and centered. So now I'm gonna close this window that I was just using, and thank you for listening to my monologue. The first thing that I'm gonna do is just move back a little bit, and I'm gonna teach you a breathing break, which I like to call a purposeful pause. When we're stressed out, and especially if we sit a lot, we only breathe about 30 to 40% of our breathing capacity. So these purposeful pauses help us to take and get deep down into diaphragmatic breathing, which helps to get all those yucky feelings and tensions and worried energy out. So to create a deep calming breath that helps to trigger the vagus nerve that gets us into a space of rest and digest and sends happy hormones through our bodies, I thought we could do a take 5. I know this seems really simple, but this is a great way to take like a 30-second to a minute break with your students or yourself if you're having something frustrating happening at home. So you take, and the first one I'm going to teach you is tracing your hands. And when you breathe in and out through the nostrils, it automatically sends the calming serotonin through your body, the happy hormones. When you breathe in and out through your mouth, it triggers cortisol production, which kind of gives you an extra layer of fat around your belly also. So you want to be careful of mouth breathing. So we'll try and breathe in and out through our nose, and we're going to trace our hand. Simply breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. And since we only have a short amount of time together, I'm only going to go in one direction. Ultimately, when we breathe, we want to have a 1-to-2 ratio, where your inhales are nice and deep and calm, but your exhales are almost just as long as the inhale, but even longer, so that you push out anything that's deep down at the pit of your stomach, all that gunk, all those toxins, things you need to shed. All right, the second take 5 that I want to teach you is about blowing out a candle. Same thing, forceful belly breaths to get the diaphragm to massage your internal organs. We're going to take and like playing a musical instrument or blowing out birthday candles, we're going to make our hands into a fist. You're going to take and you're going to breathe in through the nose and exhale and breathe out through the mouth, and you've started your candles. So let's take and make all of your fingers active, and we're going to breathe in through the nose, breathe out, blowing out that candle. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, and breathe out. And that is a take 5 break. I don't know about you, but that makes me really warm, because when you're breathing those deep diaphragmatic breaths, it's like a big huge bellows that stokes your inner power source and kind of warms your body up, stimulates your central nervous system, and allows you to be more awake and aware and vibrant. The next thing that I want to show you is, I'm going to move to the chair here, and we're going to do some seated practices. When we sit in a comfortable position on the chair all day, a lot of times we're like this, right? Hello. Or we're schlumping, or we're hollowed out and we're kind of attacking the computer. It's really hard to find alignment, and that's what we're trying to find when we're in that space of our prefrontal cortex, or our higher states of consciousness where creativity lives. So we want to settle into alignment by making sure that your feet are touching down to the ground, that your knees are over your ankles, your knees are in line with your hips, and your shoulders are over the hips. As your hands come onto the legs, we're just going to do a really simple neck and shoulder exercise. So you're going to lift your shoulder up. It doesn't matter which one. Lower it down. Lift it up. Lower it down. Lift it up. And lower it down. Use a deep cathartic breath as you're doing this. Inhales, let's switch sides, are usually upward movements. Exhales are lowering. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in, and breathe out. Awesome. Okay, now we're going to do both shoulders together. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, and breathe out. Okay, so we're going to now work into a neck stretch. Take and reach one hand to the opposite ear and gently guide the head towards the shoulder. You can reach the opposite arm out. You could even rotate your wrist in one direction and the other. You're just finding some space. Place your hand back to the leg, and the hand that was holding an ear now is going to support your head back up. Release down. Let's take a good breath in and an easy, slow breath out. Now we'll find the other side. Reaching the other arm up, ear towards shoulder, and you move the hand out to find resistance. Lifting it up higher or lower, depending on where you feel you need it the most. And once again, you can rotate your wrist. And then gently take the hand to the side of the head so you don't tweak any of the neck muscles, and lift the head back up and bring your hands down. So because we are on the computer a lot, another thing that's really good to do are wrist exercises. So take your thumbs and bring them into your palms of your hands and wrap your fingers around your thumbs. Take your pinky fingers towards each other and then rotate your wrists without losing connection. It gets a little bit harder if you want to bring your elbows towards each other. You're just moving your hands in one direction, and then we'll go whoo, in the other direction. Awesome job, everybody. And now relaxing your hands, make your hands and to spread the fingers nice and wide, palms facing each other. Interlace your fingers and then do a little bit of a tug of war. You're just moving your hands. So even your hands can do some yoga. One direction and the other way. And then we'll take and place all the fingers together. And as you inhale, let your elbows open. This is good for carpal tunnel with all of our computer work. And exhale, elbows come down, palms relax. Breathe in, elbows open, shoulders broad, and breathe out. Nice. Breathe in, and breathe out. All right, to go a little bit deeper, we're gonna do a wrist stretch. Bring your fingers to point down as you pull them back towards you. Take a couple deep breaths, and then inhale, hands back in front of your chest. As you exhale, let's switch, fingers down. Woo, I can feel that. And then hands back to center. Now we're gonna stretch our fingers and do a good deep breath. I think my hands are gonna go off the screen, but interlace your fingers. And it's always good too to try the odd grip, and when you do the odd grip, it helps you to reset the hemispheres of your brain, because yoga is a sensory integration practice, and the rhythmic response is the heart calming you down. So find a grip, bring the hands forward, inhale, reach up high, and exhale, stretch to a side. Nice job, everybody. Breathe in as you come up, and then exhale, hands come back in front of your heart. Interlace the odd grip. Inhale, reach up. It also helps us to become ambidextrous. As you exhale, stretch to the other side. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, hands back in front. And you can also take, and when you inhale and breathe in, you can sway to one side for several deep breaths. Just holding it there. Sway to the other side for several deep breaths. Feel your feet touching the ground as you're settled in this moment. And then come on back up. And exhale, hands come back in front. Now we're going to do a cat-cow. Placing your hands onto your legs. A lot of times we do this on the ground, but seated in a chair is more accessible. So a cat-cow is moving our spine into beautiful curves. Let your inhale, thumbs to the hips, elbows reach back. Ooh, my back just cracked. And exhale, round and open up, fingertips towards the toes. Inhale, thumbs to the hips, moving from the belly, from the breath. And exhale, fingers to the knees, rounding your back. Belly presses spine. Inhale, lifting and opening. And exhale, rounding. All right, coming into a neutral space. We're gonna now try, as I move through these poses, a hip opener. So pigeon is a beautiful pose that you can do on the ground, but you can also do it seated in a chair. So anytime you need to get off the yoga bus, bring a knee up and give it a little bit of a hug. This is also called wind removing pose, so if you toot, that's okay. You needed to get that gunk out of your stomach. intestines and all that stuff. And then we'll take and grab onto the foot. If you can go further, remember to stop where you need to, ankle to the top of the other leg. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, forward fold. Our hips hold so many things. Inhale, come up. And exhale, forward fold. I can't see anything from here or read the screen, so I apologize. Inhale. And exhale. And you're welcome to stay here for a couple deep breaths. And then we'll make our way back up and lower the foot back down. Let's try the other side, okay? Bringing the knee up. You're welcome to stay right here, or take and bring the ankle on top of the opposite leg. Chest is high, and you fold forward. Inhale, lifting and opening. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale, lifting, and exhale, folding forward. You can hold yourself here for a couple deep breaths. Make sure you relax your shoulders and your neck. Maybe gaze at something on the floor. And then we'll come on back up and release the foot back down. All right, the final seated thing that I want to show you how to do is a spinal twist. And a spinal twist is a great way, almost like when you're like washing the dishes with a dirty dish rag. When you rinse out that dish rag, it's so good to just see all that dirt and grime kind of go back down into the drain. That's the same thing we do when we twist our bodies. Plus, it's really good for your kidneys. And not only is it good for your kidneys, it's really good to help with anxiety. So it helps us to get out of an anxious state. Bringing one hand to the outside of your leg, bring the other hand to the side of the chair or the back of the chair. Inhale, lift and lengthen, and exhale, twist. As you twist, think as if you are a telescope and you're lifting and lengthening, breathing into your rhythm and into the movements. Inhale, come on back to center. And with your next exhale, let's take it to the other side. Hand to the outside of the leg. Reach your arm back. Big breath in to lengthen. And then exhale to twist. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale to twist. A lot of people like to crank their neck, but really think about your entire spinal column running all the way to the top of your head. Nice and slow twist. And then come on back to center. Let's do two poses behind the chair. When we stand, it helps people to rise up to be their best self. So I'm standing way back here, and we are going to do a crescent lunge. You stand at the side of the chair, you put one foot forward, and you take the other leg back. So what you see is a deep lunge. Big breath in, and a good breath out, which really helps the hip flexors. Big breath in, and a great big breath out. And then we just switch sides. Taking and going to the opposite direction, you just turn, and then you would step back with the opposite leg. Breathing in, and breathing out. And breathing in, and breathing out. All right. Standing back up, I'm going to show you how to do a downward facing dog. So a downward facing dog is, I just came to see if anything was happening there. A downward facing dog is a really great way to open up your back. And there's lots of different ways to do it. You can use the back of the chair, and this is a great thing to do. I'm going to just turn sideways here. You can walk your booty back and place your hands to the back of the chair, and that's a great, great stretch. If you have a table, you can put your hands on the table, same way. You can also turn the chair and bring your elbows where you go a little bit deeper into it. And anytime you're in this space, forward folds are so amazing because they help your spine, which is the powerhouse of your body, release any toxins. And when your head is below your heart, it not only sends fresh oxygenated blood to your brain, but it also turns on your parasympathetic nervous system, which calms you down. If you don't want to use a chair, you can also use a wall and do downward facing dog with the wall. Feet are down, hands reach forward, back is long. So there's a lot of different options to go in when you're doing downward facing dog. Even when you're on the ground, you can do a puppy dog versus a full down dog, where you bring your forearms to the ground and you keep your knees to the ground and your head hangs. So you can turn on the happy hormones and calming energy in your body, or you can straighten your leg into a full down dog. Or to take it even deeper, you would straighten your arms and let your head hang down. But for me, one of the simplest things to do is to just take, as you're seated in your chair, and open your legs and walk your hands down the legs into a nice forward fold. And then you just let your head hang out, you pour out the contents of your mind, and you give yourself an opportunity to truly let go. And as you slowly roll back up, begin to feel yourself softening into this moment. Your back is long, and your body is calm. So yoga practice, sorry I'm changing, in and of itself is really about like taking a shower. It's physical and emotional hygiene. It balances and harmonizes your mind and your body, and then you're able to be intentional with your attention and be in the zone of your life. Whew, I'm hot moving through those really fast. Thank you so much. Love more and stress less, and now we can take some questions.